Hi there, welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well today, and welcome here if you're new. I'm Kay. I love talking about all things slow, intentional, conscious living, and I feel like we're all feeling the squeeze these days. The cost of living has gone through the roof, inflation's at an all-time high, and I just think we're all feeling the squeeze. I know we certainly are, and I just really want to make this video to hope to inspire you to have a look at your own life, to think about some swaps you can make. So these swaps are going to be about saving money, but they're also going to be about living more consciously and with more intention as well. So with that in mind, some of the things I'm going to mention do cost more money than buying the cheapest option, but I also think that they last you for a very, very long time. So sometimes it's worth weighing up the options, but it's completely personal and down to each person. So for myself, my situation is I am pregnant. I am 26 weeks pregnant as of today, and I am very aware. I am slowly, but it doesn't actually feel like slowly, I am pretty fastly moving towards my maternity leave, which I'll be going on in autumn time, and with that comes, you know, a big change in lifestyle for us, and I really want to start making swaps now, slowly but surely, so that when I get to that point, you know, when we've got a little bit less money, we can just still live the same life that we've got now, and I'm not going to feel that squeeze quite as much. So that is my situation. I'd love to hear down below why you're currently, you know, saving money as much as you can, or you're putting yourself on a bit of a budget too, what your life circumstances are, because it's not always a negative thing. Sometimes it can be a positive thing, you know, having a baby, saving for a house, maybe you're going to go on a big adventure. Let me know down below, I'm very interested to know. But let's crack on with the video. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do so. I've got lots more videos like this coming your way in the future. I feel like a broken record at this point, but a budget is so important. Making a budget is great. Sticking to a budget, that's what you actually need to do. I am very good at making a budget and then slowly but surely falling off the bandwagon. But I think having a budget and being able to stick to it for at least a month to prove to yourself that you can is so empowering. And I've spoken a lot on this channel before about doing a no-buy month, about using the cash clip system, and about different budgeting methods as well. It's so valuable to be able to get a grasp of where you stand with your money. There's nothing worse than, you know, spending money, tapping your card and thinking, is it going to go through? Is it not? And also the same thing, like not logging into your bank account because you're too scared to be confronted by the amount of money you've spent that month. Actually getting a grasp of your budget, making some very realistic budgets for yourself can really, really help with moving forward. So, you know, if you get your shopping budget down, you know exactly what you need to spend for your family, because it's personal to every single person, and then that way you can start working towards those saving goals. I really feel without a budget, unless you have a very high income, it's incredibly difficult to save money because it's just so easy to spend it, isn't it? So the next is a safety razor, one that, so a few years ago, 6 years ago, I was super into zero waste. I was really into the movement. I was so conscious, so ethical. I really considered every single purchase. A lot of things happened during my life that just meant that my brain just could not cope with that many decisions anymore. And I slowly slipped back into conventional living, which we're going to blame lockdown for this. I think lockdown had a massive part to play in a lot of changes in society and in ourselves as well. And I know for me personally, it took a massive hit on my life and how I functioned as a person, and I'm feeling better now, and I'm slowly but surely working back towards my values, which one of the things I never changed was our safety razor. So me and Dan both had one when we were traveling. When we moved into the house together, we were like, we don't need two razors. So we passed one along to a family member, we kept one. I got this massive pack of razor blades when I first started out 6 years ago. I think there's 100 blades in there. We don't swap it out probably as much as we should do, but these are probably going to last us the rest of our lives. So again, you know, you've got the initial investment of the razor, you've got the blades, but you're not having to repurchase every single month. The thing I also love about this is it's just so much more simple, and we all need a bit more simple in our lives. I remember back in my teen days, you know, not being able to afford those really expensive, nice razors with the little, had like 3 razor blades, and so I'd buy the really cheap plastic ones, and it came in a big bag. Well, then you've got a big bag of razors to put somewhere. They last like 2 shaves, then they go in the bin. It's such a waste. And the safety razor is just so much nicer. It looks nice in your bathroom. You know, all you've got to do is find somewhere to put that pack of blades that's going to last you a lifetime. And it's just so much more cost effective. It really is. I've not had to think about buying a razor or razor blades for literally years, which is incredible. So we spoke before about a food budget. One of the things I've started doing recently is trying to support my local community, which kind of sometimes they can go like this. I do this thing where I can be one extreme or the other, and so I really want to be on a budget, but I really want to do the best I can and support my local community. Sometimes that option is more expensive, but if it's in alignment with your values, it can be worth it. And if the vegetables and fruits you're buying are higher quality, again, it can be worth it, but it completely depends on your personal situation. So we recently signed up for a veggie box to be delivered to our house, and it's got lots of nice fruits and vegetables, not all seasonal, but they are from our local farmer. So, you know, farm shop, and so I feel good. I'm supporting a local community and it just feels nice, and it's making me go to the supermarket less, which I love, but I'm going to touch on that later on. The other thing that you can think about if you are on a super budget is looking into subscriptions for meal prep services. I talk a lot about HelloFresh. This isn't sponsored. There are a lot of other big companies out there that do amazing deals. So if I ever mention a deal with like HelloFresh or someone like that, definitely check out the deal, because it can be just so much cheaper to sign up for 1 month, get a really cheap deal on a box, and then maybe you just say, right, we'll put it on pause for a few months until we can afford it again. That works really, really well for a lot of people I know, and it's something that I definitely recommend. The other thing with food is I love the cash clip system. I cannot rate it enough. Get out the amount of money you're going to spend on food that week, put it into your purse or your wallet and crack on with your week. And when that money is run out, you can't go to the shop anymore. And if you know you do this the first month and you run out of money, you can try again. You can get a bit more money out and you can try and make a really realistic budget. There's no point setting yourself too low of a budget and struggling through, but also it can be an eye-opener to how much money you do spend just nipping back to the shop for a few things every few days. Kind of following on from this is I am now supporting my local milkman, which I am very happy about. Not only is it aesthetically pleasing, it feels really good. The milk and the orange juice come in a glass bottle, which is fantastic, so much better for the environment. These bottles get sent back, they get re-washed and they get sent out again, which is incredible. So again, you have to price up for yourself if this is a good option, but it's so nice. I tell you what is really nice. I'm using the Modern Milkman. I think I've got like a code. It's just a code anyone can get, so I'll leave any codes and discounts I've got for anything down below. None of this is sponsored, by the way, but we all love a good deal, don't we? So I signed up to it. One of the best things about it is if you forgot that you need milk, which I do a lot, it depends on the week how much milk we get through, and say like it's 7 o'clock at night, you think, oh, we've run out of milk. I'd usually run to the shop, so Dom had some milk for his cereal in the morning for when he got up, and I'd end up at the shop. I'd be buying all sorts of things that I didn't need because it's night time, and I just, you know, you just get in the mood for stuff, don't you? And I just waste so much money that way. Whereas with this, I can literally go online up to 8 o'clock at night and tell them I need some milk tomorrow, and they will deliver it the next day. Incredible. And it's just, yeah, I feel like it's really streamlined the process for me, and I know I can set up deliveries however many times a week I want for it to come, and it's just one less thing for me to have to think about. I love when things are automated. You know, if you can fit them into your budget, these automated subscriptions that you can get sometimes, they don't only save you money, but they save so much brain space. One of the things I really need to put on subscription is the cat's dry food as well, because that's another thing that slowly runs out, and then suddenly it's run out and I forget to reorder it, and then it's too late. I've spoken about these before, but wax wraps are a great swap. Again, they cost a bit more money than say like cling film from the shop, you know, from a budget shop that's really cheap, but it's so much better for the environment, so much better for you. You've not got all the plastic on your food all the time, and it can be reused over and over and over again. You can clean these really easy with cold water and lots of nice soap. Give them a rinse off, let them air dry, and they're good as new. If you find they stop being They sort of like mould around whatever shape you put them on with your hands, because the heat from your hands slowly melts the wax and helps it to stick. If this stops happening, all you need to do is buy yourself a bar of beeswax, which will probably last you a lifetime as well. You just grate this onto the piece of material. You can make them yourself as well if you wanted to. I'm tempted to do that in the future if I need more. Parchment paper over, iron it on, done. Easy, simple, love it. And I just think it's so much better. And I find as well, because it's material with wax on and it's in the fridge, when I see that in the fridge, my brain panics and it's like, I need to eat that up before it goes mouldy, before it does this. And it helps me to stop wasting food, because if it's in cling film, I just don't care about it, which is very strange, I know. But I think it's because it's the throwaway society that I've grown up in. It's just like, oh well, you know, that's easy to throw in the bin. I'm not going to be throwing away my wax wrap, and I really don't want to have to clean a mouldy wax wrap. So that really helps me to stay accountable, and hopefully that's a good tip for you too. So cleaning products is another big one where I used to spend so much money. And the thing is, with the cleaning products I was buying, they were super cheap, they were dirt cheap, but I would end up in B&M or Home Bargains or even Tesco in the cleaning aisle, and I would get suckered in. There is a product for every single thing you could ever need to clean in your life, and I just got so sucked into that marketing. And I think when you're in a bit of a low place, you're feeling a bit turbulent in your life, it's so easy to get suckered into that marketing. They get us while we're weak, don't they? While we're on our knees. So one of the things I've loved about switching up my cleaning products is I just don't need to go down the aisle anymore, and that is so refreshing, so refreshing. And if I go down the aisle for something specific, I know exactly what I'm getting, I pick it up and I leave. This is one of the things I remember from about 6 years ago when I was on this similar path, is I just would walk into the supermarket completely amazed by all of the advertising, because it was somewhere that was quite different for me. I didn't go there very often and it just felt really strange. But when you go there every week, you get conditioned to it, and it's easier to fall for that marketing because you forget it's all a game and it's all set up to make you spend your money. So I switched to Purdy and Fig, which is on subscription. It gets delivered to my door in little glass bottles. I am slowly but surely thinking about switching to making my own. I've got all the things I need, I just need to commit to doing it, with Castile soap and water and some essential oils as well, and that would be a really easy option. I've just got Echo doing circles around me. Can you see him? So yeah, you know, if you can get yourself some bicarbonate soda, some Castile soap, some vinegar, some lemons, you'll be set. You will have everything you need. It's dependent on you if that's something you're comfortable with doing. But again, you have to initially invest in those bulk things like bulk baking soda, you know, getting a big bottle of vinegar. But once you've got that, it will last you a very, very long time, and you don't have to think about buying them again, which for me just makes life so much easier. So with a little one on the way, I am thinking a lot about how I'm going to wash his clothes and his nappies and all of the things that come with him, and wanting it to be safe for him as well. So I've been doing lots of research, and I have for a long time used laundry liquid, I've used laundry pods, I've used all kinds of things, conventional things throughout my time, and I'm really slowly trying to get to a point where I'm using it a lot less. I'm trying to slowly wean myself out of fragrances, because I am a sucker for loving things that smell nice, especially laundry. But I've realised recently how much more expensive washing liquid is compared to washing powder, and I had no idea. Maybe some of you out there will be like, well duh, but I never considered it. I think the bottles just sucked me in, and if you're the same, I'm just saying this because I feel like it's important to say. It's good to do your research and find what's comfortable for you and your family, but maybe switching to a washing powder would be a better, more economical option for you in the long run. If you've watched my videos closely, you will know I've been the thrifting queen recently. I have loved a bargain. I've been using Vinted, Facebook Marketplace, going to charity shops. I've bought hardly anything new, at least in the last 5 months. I was a bit of a maniac at the beginning of my pregnancy, but I have come back down to earth, and I'm really trying to slow it down, be intentional, and be really aware that we live in a world where you can get next day delivery on nearly anything. What I don't want to do is bring lots of stuff into my home, into my life for my little boy, and then regret it and not have anywhere to put it all, and to have wasted those resources as well. So if you're the same, you know, in any transition in your life, make yourself a list. I've got a list in my phone, and all I do then is find the price of it to buy new, and then I set up loads of saved lists on Vinted, on Facebook Marketplace, and I keep my eye out. I bob into charity shops, because charity shops are one of those gems where sometimes you can go in and find nothing. Sometimes you go in and you find that exact thing you wanted, and you just think, how on earth is this here for me right now? And it's so much more rewarding, so much more rewarding. So I highly recommend that. It's such a good feeling to not only save money, you're also helping the planet by not investing in something new. And I've said before, the best thing about it is most of the time it's already made. So our little next to me cot that we've got was already created, it was already made, the effort was already put in, and there was no cardboard to recycle either. So that was just such a great feeling. So definitely shop pre-loved, and the same for clothes as well. You know, if you can and you know what size you are and it's a feasible option for you, it's a really good option to do when you are trying to save money. And all my little boys' clothes from now on, I feel like unless I'm investing in something big, I'm going to try my hardest to get them from Vinted, because once you go to secondhand prices, it is so difficult to go back to buying in conventional shops. And I remember that as well from my journey 6 years ago. I could not believe how much new clothes would cost, and I would so happily spend £30–40 in Tesco on a new cardigan or a new jumper, and now I can get so much more for my money for the same price. So think about your skincare, your body care, what you're actually using, how many products you've got in those cupboards of yours, and if you're just constantly buying new because you're getting suckered into new marketing or suckered into this new product, or you know, you're feeling a bit low, so you end up in a supermarket, in a pharmacy, and you're looking at the aisles and you con yourself into thinking you need this new cream. We've all been there, I feel like. So for me, I've really tried recently to be intentional with the products I'm bringing into my life, and I've really got it down to what I'm really enjoying using. So I have a very specific list now that I'm sticking to, and I'm slowly working through any old products that I've already got so that I can make sure I'm not wasting them. They're all great products. I bought them with intention at some point in my life, but what I really want is to open my bathroom cupboard and it to just be simple. That would be so nice. The same with body care as well. I am moving back to just using coconut oil and tallow for my skincare, and also for my little boy's skincare. I don't want anything fancy. I don't think it's necessary. And if I'm honest, I find that coconut oil is one of the best you can have, because I put it on every day. And if I don't use coconut oil, I don't tend to moisturise every day, so my skin feels so much better for it as well. And I think sometimes the more simple the better, and a big jar of coconut oil lasts you a very long time. Moving on, I am going to be trying to use reusable nappies, so this is kind of relevant to me going on maternity leave in a few months. But I really want to try for the planet. I really want to try as well because it can help to save us money in the long run. We're also going to be using reusable wipes too, so I'm not sure how this journey is going to go. I'm sharing it because I hope that it inspires you if you feel completely overwhelmed but you really want to try too. What I would say is give yourself the opportunity to, you know, buy the wipes. If it doesn't work out, you can use them as for anything else, can't you? It's not a big deal, and I try really hard not to get sort of sucked into the gimmicky parts of cloth nappying and needing all of the fancy products and soaps and detergents, and just trying to keep it really, really simple. So I got a really good deal on some nappies from the Nappy Lady. They were usually £19 and they were down to like £3 to £6 a nappy, so I was like, yes please. So I got myself a few, but I am going to be signing up to our local nappy library, which is a great resource if you're in the UK. Definitely check out if there's one close to you. You can hire the nappies for free or donation, and you can try them for a month, see how you get on, and then decide if you want to invest that money. But you can save so much money in the long run doing this, and also it's so much better for your baby's skin as well. So I feel like it's going to be something I get very passionate about in time, but we will see how I go on this mission. But I'm feeling really, really good about it, and the patterns are so stinking cute too. So the last thing for my own personal journey for saving money is buying myself an Instant Pot. I haven't bought this yet, but I feel like it's going to be one of the best things. Sometimes the things I want the most I put off, and I will happily buy something else that's much more expensive and then never get the thing I want. So two things that I really, really need to get that are on my wish list are a really nice ceramic dish so I can start making my own bread, and also an Instant Pot so that I can make my own rice, I can make my own beans, I can soak my own legumes and all of that stuff, and I cannot have to then buy it from the supermarket. I can just buy a nice big bag of things and then they can be in the cupboard, and I know I can make any meal, and an Instant Pot makes that so much easier. As well as that, an air fryer is a great investment if you are interested in those. Ours blew up recently, so we don't have one of those anymore, but I know from watching videos similar to this one that they can save you a lot of money compared to putting your entire oven on. So just something to think about as well is, you know, making your own things from scratch. It takes that little bit more effort, but I do think it's worth it in the long run, because once you've invested in these things, so long as you look after them well and they don't have a malfunction, they should last you a very, very long time. So that is it. That is all my tips I'm sharing with you today. I really hope this has inspired you to make some really good sustainable swaps that will not only be better for the planet, better for you, they will save you so much money throughout your life as well. And not just that, the best part is I just feel like they make your life so much more simple, so much more streamlined. And isn't that what we all want from life? You know, I do love living a more minimalist life, and it's one that I'm slowly but surely getting myself back into, and it just feels liberating. It really, really does. So I really hope you enjoyed this. Let me know down below if you've got any other tips that you could add to this. I love this community. You're all amazing, so supportive, and it's so nice to see you all chatting back and forth, supporting one another as well. But that's it from me. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one, and I will see you all again in my next video. Bye.